guys, and welcome to the Fish Room. I'm Rachel O'Leary and it's time for a species spotlight. This week we're going to talk about Boraras maculatus, the dwarf rasbora, a cousin to the chili rasbora, which we all know is wildly popular. Now these guys are one of the closest relatives to the chili. Both Boraras mara, the phoenix rasbora, Boraras brigitei, the chili rasbora, and Boraras maculatus are all pretty closely related. In fact, they resemble each other quite strongly, with all of them being more elongate than the other Boraras and getting pretty red. So we're going to go over to the noisy side of the fish room and I'm going to tell you more about them. As I mentioned, these guys are really closely related to chili rasboras. You can tell that their body shape is almost identical. Now I've dropped just a little bit of food in this tank just so that they would stay in frame for you guys so you can see how they differ. If you'll notice, these guys have a very pronounced black dot in the middle of their side and one down at their caudal peduncle, which is right in front of that tail fin. And this is how you can easily differentiate them from both phoenix rasboras and chili rasboras. If you remember correctly, the phoenix rasbora has a bold colored circle around that black dot. Now these guys are not particularly awesomely colored right now, and that's because I have them in one of my quarantine tanks, which doesn't have any substrate and is a little bit brightly lit for their tastes. But in time, in one of your planet displays, these guys get a bright cherry red with a black tip to their dorsal that is really, truly stunning. I mean, they are just breathtaking and in my mind truly rival the beauty of the chili rasbora. Now they're that same adult size, not even truly reaching an inch. And similar to other Boraras, these guys come from blackwater streams and rivers and peat swamps, making them extremely threatened from palm oil plantations and the manufacturing processes that go along with that. This also means that they do best in softer water. It doesn't mean they won't adapt to harder water, but you're really going to see them thrive and exhibit their best coloration in a planted aquarium with dark substrate, lots of branchy driftwood, and not too bright of lighting. They're a micropredator in the wild, eating teeny tiny insect larvae, microcrustaceans, infusora, rotifers, and the like. And in the aquarium, they'll eat pretty much anything that will fit in their mouth, meaning crushed flake, micro pellets, baby brine, frozen live foods like white worms or micro worms, or even baby daphnia. All in all, they're really pretty darn easy to feed and pretty darn easy to keep. Similar to other Boraras species, they are a miniaturized fish, meaning they are completely proportionate to larger relatives but just stay super tiny. They are fantastic with fish like licorice gourami, chocolate gourami, and the smaller wild bettas, things like betta cochina. They're also fantastic with shrimp, only being able to predate upon the smallest of newly hatched shrimp. And as long as we have areas of dense planting, things like mosses for the baby shrimp, these guys have a very low prey drive and don't actively seek them out, so are one of the more suitable fishes to be kept with shrimp. Their range in the wild is all the way from southern Malaysia into Thailand, Singapore, and Indonesia. So they have a pretty broad distribution, making them more readily available than some other species. Similar to all the other Boraras, you really want to keep these guys in a nice group. Because of their tiny adult size, you can easily keep 8 to 10 of them even in a very small aquarium. Their bioload is very low because of their torpedo-shaped small body, and they tend to graze and pick more than binge and purge, so it's nice to offer them small, frequent meals. These guys' adult length is considerably smaller than that of a dwarf shrimp. Again, a great reason to try them together should you want to have a mixed community. They're a continuous spawner exhibiting no parental care. The females get fatter, but they're almost impossible to sex in most cases. And having areas, again, of dense planting or using spawning mops will make it more likely for fry to appear. Now, the fry are absolutely minuscule, and a well-mature tank is best both for the adults and to rear any babies. They also really like leaf litter. Of course, it's not required, and it's certainly an acquired taste, but if you were trying to do some sort of biotope type setup with these guys, you would want to use things like crypts, java fern, mosses, leaf litter, branchy driftwood, and really tan and stained water. And I think you would be shocked at how they glow in those conditions. All in all, they're a versatile, beautiful, easy little fish that are really suitable to any of the small, peaceful community aquariums, or interesting in a group on their own. They utilize all the water column, sort of loosely gathering rather than schooling, but definitely need large groups of their own kind in order for them to be outgoing. They're a fish that I like to keep in my own aquariums. Sometimes as aquarists, I think we get caught up in trends of what fish to get. And while chili rasboras are undoubtedly a phenomenal fish, I think a lot of times a lot of the other Boraras species are really overlooked, and they're super versatile, and all of them are gorgeous. And I think Boraras maculatus are ones that really get overlooked a lot, despite getting almost as red as the chili rasboras, and being a bit more affordable and easy to source. So if you've been on the fence and wanting to try a Boraras but are having a difficult time getting chilies, give these a shot. They're really worth it. Anyway, I hope you guys got something out of that spotlight. As always, I really appreciate your feedback. So let me know below if you have any comments, suggestions, or questions. As always, make sure you stop by my various social media, Instagram, Facebook, as well as my website, MsJinx.com, where you can find my upcoming speaking engagements, my current stock list, and information on all things nano. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos.